Just idea.
Yeah, that was a great idea by you, honestly.
I know. Shout out. I need to start just doing better about making some shorts, and that might help too. But I'm just busy, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I can try to work on some shorts too.
For Shizzy. All right. Welcome back to the Opening Kickoff, your favorite show to watch. Now back at Wednesday at noon. Shout out Matt for sitting here watching. I know you were so excited for noon.
Shout out. Everybody's excited for Wednesday at noon.
Perfect. All right. So last week I continued my dominance in the 2025 season. I went 9-7. We both actually had pretty shitty weeks, putting me at 32.
So you only beat me by one game this week?
Yeah,
that's good.
but that put me at 32-16. You went 8-8, putting you at 27-21. I now have a 5-point game lead.
I mean, I was down last year too.
So let's get into the games we both got wrong. Rams versus Eagles.
What a game!
I thought the Rams had that in the bag, dude.
Jalen Hurts, I think, finally kind of shut everybody up. I mean, I was talking to you about this recently. I still would have liked to see the play calling get better earlier, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think they just didn't need Jalen to do what he did against the Rams in the previous two games, and they finally needed him to do it, and he stepped up to the plate. And yes, they had a blocked kick that was returned for a touchdown, but they still won the game, and holy shit, Jordan Davis running 18 miles an hour at over 300 pounds to return that to the end zone.
That was insane.
Insane. See, I'm the kind of guy where I'm sitting there.
Oh, another thing to keep Talib shit on Baker Mayfield for, saying comparing Matthew Stafford and Jalen Hurts game-winning drives to what Baker did. I was like, yo, Jalen Hurts won the game because of a blocked field goal.
Yeah.
And then Matthew Stafford didn't win the game. So why are those even comparison? But sorry.
But I'm the kind of guy, I'm sitting there on the couch watching Jordan Davis run. I'm like, bro, you got to go down. Like, because they were already up by 1 at that point. Like, he did not need to return it. And I get the mindset of a player, especially like Jordan Davis. He's never going to get the opportunity to score
But what
a touchdown.
if a fumble happens?
No, so I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, you got to go. Like, if that's my team, I'm sitting there screaming at my TV.
Yeah,
like,
you
yo,
know.
Get on the ground.
Nah, Nick Sirianni wants him to score.
No,
though.
I agree. I'm saying if I'm a fan of the team,
Yeah.
I'd rather them go down. But I get it, especially from Jordan Davis's perspective. I didn't know he could move like
Puka
that.
Nacua
Crazy.
continues to be a PPR merchant.
He's not a PPR merchant, but like in PP, like I get what you're saying. Like he's very.
Oh
good
no,
in PPR,
I wasn't. That was an insult. Like he's just so
Yeah.
good in fantasy.
No, it's so nuts. I'm trying to just trade my whole team for him right now to put Jacob, but he hasn't responded. Jacob, if you're watching right now, bro,
Yeah, you're supposed to be on this episode. He's actually coming into town.
Yeah, I
this
texted.
weekend.
I even texted him today. I was like, "Yo, are you in town?" Because I remember he has to come on, but he's not yet. But he said he's coming in a couple weekends. So Jacob,
I think
will
he's
be on the
coming
show.
this weekend. So worst case, maybe we can film something a little early with
Oh,
him.
yeah.
All right, Packers Browns, craziest game of the week. Did you see the clip of Myles Garrett running past the lineman, and the lineman goes, "Jordan, run!"
Yeah, you know, I
like
actually,
a scary fucking movie.
I will
bro.
say, I genuinely had this thought in my head like before this ever happened. I've never talked about it, but is that not high key like a smart play? Like if you let somebody run by you, is it high key? Because think about how many times quarterbacks get like blindsided.
Yeah,
like,
if you're left tackle, that's genius.
I feel like it's good comms. Like
It's
get the ball out of there. You know,
but negative aura. You know,
it is negative aura, but that's good comms. But
It was-
honestly, bro, Myles Garrett might be the best player in the NFL. Like, and one thing I learned from this
besides
Browns
Brandon
game,
Arbery.
true.
Brandon Arbery's the best player at his position.
One thing I learned from this game is I'm honestly not too concerned about the Packers losing this game. It's a rough loss, but I mean, last year
It's the fucking
last year
Browns.
the Ravens slipped
It's
up the game to the Browns.
The Browns have an insane defense, bro. Like any
No,
given
that's
week, the Browns can be anybody.
And that's exactly what I was going to get into. This defense is so insanely good. And Mason Graham, by the way, balled out this game.
Fuck
he was
yeah.
generating a pressure on 40% of his snaps from D tackle.
Is he playing a lot of D tackle 1, or are they letting Mike Hall play a lot of D tackle 1?
I don't know. I'm assuming they're both on the field most of the time, but
True.
so he generated pressure on about 40% of his snaps
Yeah,
from
they
the
do run a
defensive line.
4-3.
The average pressure rate from a D tackle is like 9%, and he averaged a pressure 40% of the times he was in the game.
I mean, he did have the highest floor out
That's
of
nuts.
everybody.
But this Browns defense, they have some young pieces. If they can keep it together going into
Dude,
next
imagine
season,
if this Browns team had a quarterback
like Baker.
like Baker.
But they
Crazy.
okay, so they have 2 first-round picks going in the next season. They have a couple young quarterbacks in Gabriel and Shador. Who knows if they turn anything? They have some. They have
And
some
keep
firepower on
not
the
playing
offense.
them. Keep not playing
They
them.
have Quishon Judkins. They have
Fannin.
Jerry Judy. Sorry.
have
I think
Fannin, too, who's been
Njoku.
balling.
I think Njoku probably gets traded at the deadline this year. But I'm saying they have the assets
Dude, what
to
if
go out and
Njoku
make
goes
this.
to the Chiefs deadline? Could you imagine?
I doubt it. I mean,
They run a lot of 2 tight ends.
Kelsey's been
That'd be
being
fire.
mid, but
No, but just
I'm
for
just
a
saying,
2 tight
I
end.
think that the Browns' future with how good their defense is actually kind of bright. Although they are the Browns, so that might be a little far fetched. But I could really see.
I would say I agree for like a D1 Browns hater. Like if you went to last year compared to this year, now you got 2 firsts. You got Mason Graham playing good. Your defense does look good. You got Joe Flacco who won you a game. You know, it does look a little brighter. And shout out Jacob that he's like, my life's about to suck, and they won.
I know. That was awesome. That was a sick game. And another block kick, by the way. This was just the week of blocked kicks. Absolutely insane. And then I don't know how to pronounce their kicker's last name. It's like Smits or something. He was very bad week 1, but he came out hit a 55-yarder to win the game. That's just so much aura.
And then again, I got wrong. We already kind of went into depth on it. Bengals, Vikings. I'll just say I'm fucking washed.
Yeah. Hey, I had the worst game pick of the year this year, but your game pick that you made this week was also pretty bad.
I think that might be worse, huh?
No, mine was worse. Because that we'll get into it later. But
there's a chance that the Bengals could have competed, like objectively, you know.
Yeah,
like,
no. My pick was way worse. But if you want to see the full recap on that game, go check out the video on the channel. But I'm very happy to see my team go out and dominate the Cincinnati Bengals. Isaiah Rodgers is the best corner in the league.
Yeah, let's not
right
tease
now.
people who watch the full episodes. We can say a little bit more about it. The reason I had picked the Bengals was just because I think I kind of was just Jake Browning. I thought Jake Browning would play better than Carson
the Vikings
Wentz,
have
and
had
I
a
was
lot of
wrong.
injuries. By the way, Christian Darrisaw came back, and literally our offensive line is completely perfect now. Like, not perfect, but I want to say he allowed 0 pressures this game. Like, Christian Darrisaw came back in and instantly...
Imagine a tackle doing that all season.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Tristan Wirfs.
do your homework. But, yeah, honestly,
Tristan Wirfs back in 15.
having Christian Darrisaw back on the offensive line was so
Top
big.
5 tackle in the league.
Andrew Van Ginkel played, like, literally 10 snaps, by the way, and got 2 sacks.
He's so good.
So good.
And shout out. I'm glad Brian Flores.
I'm glad we're slowly getting our players back. We definitely are still injured and need to start working on getting everybody back.
I'm curious about what you think about this game. Texans Jaguars. We both got wrong.
Man, I was really confident.
Are the
Texans would
Texans
win this game.
ass?
The Texans are ass because the Jags did not play good that
So
game.
what's crazy is
Nico Collins had a really bad fumble where they could have iced that game, and Nico Collins fumbled.
and
CJ Stroud had that
and
pick.
even to Nico, they had that Nico Collins miscommunication touchdown where that was pretty big too. That gave them a chance.
You know the
right?
Jags have already generated as many turnovers this year as they did the whole entire
last year.
season last year.
Liam Cohen, bro.
Well, Liam Cohen's not calling the defenses though.
Duval, but it's still a head coach.
Yeah, I
bringing in,
mean he's
changing the culture.
definitely changing the culture.
He's the one who
but-
hired the defensive coordinator. You know.
Shout out. But yeah, I don't think this Jags defense is good, by the way, in any means. They played Jake Browning week 2. They played
You know
a
how many
really-
turnovers? You know how they have more turnovers than the Bucks, and we have a defensive coordinator. So Liam Cohen could have just brought in that defensive
I will say,
coordinator.
I don't think this Jags defense is like sleepy good or anything. I think they're just playing against some really mediocre talent on
You
offense.
think
'cause-
they have the AFC South? Oh, the Colts.
No, the Colts are going to win the South this year. It's just crazy. The South is so ass.
Indiana Jones is such a saucy
And normally it
nickname,
was
too.
just the Texans just had to barely play good enough to win this division, similar to how the Bucks were the last few
And
years.
Daniel Jones is looking Baker good.
No,
He's looking like a step.
balling
You know
out.
how I said like there's Geno, Sam
Mhm.
Darnold. He's looking that step above. Like
And he
it's
has.
crazy.
We'll get into it later, but he has a very good matchup this week where he could really go out and prove himself. Even if they don't win the game, if he plays good again, like it's really insane how Daniel Jones has came out and balled out. Have you seen the clip resurfacing of Malik from last year? After a game where he was like, the problem isn't quarterback. Like, our quarterback's not the problem. He was talking about Daniel Jones and kind of hinting at the fact that coaching was the
Never
problem.
seen that.
And now Russ is here. You know,
And
he's had some good
consistently,
games.
have you noticed, bro? Like they just run go balls and just throw it up
Well,
to like.
I don't
Willie
think that's a
Namath on some
play call
bullshit.
thing. I've said this on this show before and on my own YouTube channel.
Yeah, Dayball just sucks.
No, Russ has arguably the best deep ball in the league, but he doesn't have anything else. He
Do you think they
refuses.
just have to spam it?
He refuses to throw it over the middle of the field. He holds on to the ball too long when he doesn't throw a go ball. It's all he has in his Duffy.
This
Like,
has been messed up. Oh, wow, I'm so sorry.
you're good. It doesn't bother me.
It drives me crazy. There we go. Wait.
Yeah, Russ is washed. And speaking of, Jackson Dart is officially the starter. We haven't even talked about the Giants game, so let's not get too deep into
Yeah, for
it.
sure.
But I just wanted to bring
And then
that up.
Raiders,
Shout out Daniel Jones.
Raiders commies, Marcus Mariota revenge game.
Yeah, and remember, I texted you on like Saturday, and I was like, I'm gonna.
There's
go.
no evidence.
I
of
told
it.
you it was a
There's
game
no,
time
no,
decision.
there's no evidence.
No,
of
I
it.
texted you on Saturday that I was gonna switch to the Raiders.
no-
So you shouldn't be saying there's no evidence because I'm about to go deeper. I had switched to the Raiders originally, but I said on last episode it was gonna be a game time decision Sunday at 11:59 before kickoff. I said nope, it's a Marcus Mariota legacy game, and they came out.
Now you picked the Raiders though. There's no evidence. That you
In
texted me.
last episode, I literally said that I picked
I'm
the
just, I
Commanders.
know.
so-
On the stats too, I gave it to you. Falcons, Panthers. It's such bullshit that when I pick the Panthers,
yeah,
they suck ass. But when I don't pick them, Bryce Young's God.
yeah. I wouldn't say Bryce Young.
was not
He had a
God.
good game.
Bryce Young, I'm telling you,
You know
Bryce
what's-
Young can play good football.
So
He
what
really
I've
can.
what I realized about Bryce Young is when his confidence is up, he plays on a completely different level. Like he's in no way is he like top 10 or anything, but so I was watching the game and he had like a really good deep shot to Ted McMillan, and like as soon as that happened, they got momentum. Bryce Young was feeling confident and he just started balling out. And the Falcons, holy shit, y'all are dog shit.
Michael Penix sucks.
Michael Penix does kind of suck. And also, I don't know how much of a Michael Penix issue is because the play calling on that offense is atrocious, by the way. So
Who there's
I haven't
offensive
looked-
coordinator? Do you know?
I genuinely don't know. We can look it up if you want to, but I haven't seen like a
Can
throw.
you look it up? Because I don't have my phone.
Yeah, I haven't seen like a throw chart or anything. But when I watch the Falcons offense, every pass they attempt is like a short out route to the sticks or something. Like they don't throw over the middle of the field. They don't throw deep balls. Michael Penix threw one deep ball the whole game, and it was an interception.
And Michael
That
Penix
tackling on that-
Penix is 0-4 when the team he's playing scores more than 7 points.
Oh my, what?
He hasn't won a game. He has not won a career game when the team he's playing doesn't score more than 7
Zach
points.
Robinson is their offensive coordinator.
Who the fuck is that's crazy? I
I
don't know who that is.
But yeah, Michael Penix is not playing good this season. I want to see some better play calling because they have a lot of firepower on that offense. They have a good offensive line. People are excited to watch Michael Penix. You
They
have
have
a good
Bijan
receiving core.
fucking
You have like a
Robinson.
top 3 running back in the league. There's no reason this offense should look as bad as it is. And after the last couple weeks, I was actually pretty excited about this defense. I thought they were going to be better, but you just let Bryce Young look like prime Aaron Rodgers against your team. Like, is your defense really good? The Bucks are a great team. I'm not shitting on them, but y'all are going to get like another free division win again because this division is like actually atrocious.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think the Falcons are a great team, or that the Panthers are a great team. I think the Falcons just showed that they're not as good as everybody thought they were going to be this year. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get how you change to a
They're
quarterback.
still 1-2. They're still 1-2.
They changed to a quarterback with less experience, and everybody was more hype going into this year. Like,
the Falcons. Yeah, exactly.
Kirk didn't play great.
Thank you.
Kirk
Thank
didn't
you.
play great last year, especially after that injury he had in Pittsburgh. But like
Over 3 games, Michael Penix threw 1 touchdown and 1 pick in each game.
He had like one good game whenever he came in last year against the Panthers, which, by the way, was the Panthers. Like, there was just no reason there should have been so much hype going into this year. I would really want to see a situation where Kirk does get sent off to somewhere like Cincinnati and just goes out and balls because screw the Falcons. Like,
Bruce,
that team made me really mad, especially because my team lost to that team in week 2. Sorry.
Oh my God, y'all lost to the fucking Falcons week 2.
And our defense played great in that game, by the way. Like, it was just J.J. McCarthy didn't know how to play football.
What was this?
If we had Carson Wentz in week 2, he would have beat
It was all field goals for a while, right?
Yeah, they scored like 2 touchdowns like late in the game,
Yeah.
but for a while it was like 9-6. And it was 9-6 at halftime that game.
And then Cowboys Bears is another game we both got wrong.
Dude.
That was Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams. You can show that there.
This was
They're
the
getting going.
first game in Caleb Williams' entire career where he didn't get sacked. First game in his entire career.
But
And
how
by the way-
often do quarterbacks play games and not get sacked? Is that a real common thing?
I mean, but I'm just saying. So when the Cowboys traded Micah, Jerry Jones, and I quote, said, "We can scheme
Pass rush,
ways
but
to
we
generate
can't."
pressure." Clearly, you can't because this quarterback that gets sacked. What did he get sacked like 50 times last year? And yeah, they made some improvements to the offensive line, but he's been getting sacked at the last 2 weeks. You can't get a single sack. And then on top of that, dude, the offense played terrible. Once they lost CeeDee Lamb, it was over. George Pickens dropping a ball to an interception. Hate to see that. Hate to just see a quarterback get an interception on a stat line for no reason. And then on the goal line, Dak throws an interception where they have a scoring opportunity. This team is bad. Like, they're
So
gonna
you
have
think
picks-
it's more of the Cowboys sucking and the Bears figuring it out, or a little both?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's beneficial for the Bears that they got to play a defense like the Cowboys because it gave them an opportunity to figure shit out. And by the
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
the clips of Ben Johnson in that locker room, so sick.
I know that makes me happy for him.
That makes me
And
happy
did you
too.
see
I'm
the
happy for
did you
Caleb,
see
too.
everybody like be like Caleb couldn't even throw a good pass to Ben Johnson? Did you see all those clips?
Bro, that throw to Luther Burden on the flea flicker, that was one of the best throws all year.
Dude, Caleb's insanely
You
talented.
know that was like 62 air yards he threw that.
Caleb is objectively one of the best quarterbacks on paper. Like with how good he throws the ball,
Like-
the
like
moves he makes.
talent-wise,
Yeah, like
yeah.
he has a chance to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
He just
easily.
needs to work on his accuracy and like his reading a little bit.
Yeah.
And once this Ben Johnson offense gets going, like by next season, I think we could
get a
see
few more weapons. In the
I think we could
offseason,
see
too,
the
yeah.
offense moving like that like by next year.
Yeah, for sure. They need a good running back too. Like Swift's good, but if
I've
they
never
could,
been a big fan of DeAndre
they could
Swift.
draft if they could draft like a Gibbs. Like I know that's hard to
Yeah.
ask for, but like a good up and coming.
There's good running
back,
backs that come out of the draft like every year. They could
Yeah.
find one next year.
So let's get into the games you got wrong real quick. Steelers Patriots, real close game.
You know, it's really starting to piss me off how before the season I was like, I don't get why everybody's so high on the Patriots. Like, I don't really see it. And then I continue to pick the Patriots.
You know,
and then get
MMG
let
put
down.
Drake May over Baker Mayfield in his quarterback.
Dude, I
rankings.
watched that video. That video was so stupid. He also put a lot of people above Baker. He had Baker at like average starter or above average starter, and there's like a superstar tier
Yeah,
with like Jaden Daniels. In it, a
Baker's
bunch
in
of shit.
superstar tier, no
Yeah,
question.
no, but MMG's a casual.
But right, Baker Mayfield superstar tier, no question.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
easily.
Okay.
But Yeah, to be fair, the Patriots should have won this game. They fumbled, I want to say, like 5
Robert
times.
Spillane, remember? That good pick. I told you I love Robert Spillane.
They fumbled 5 times. I want to say Ramondre Stevenson fumbled twice.
Yeah, he
Antonio
did fumble twice.
Gibson fumbled. Drake May fumbled. And then there was another fumble towards the end of the game.
I want to watch the flight reacts then if they played that bad. I love when like
they
the
really
game's
should have
good.
won this game. Aaron Rodgers didn't play great. Aaron Rodgers one-on-one balls are beautiful. Like when he throws it up one-on-one to DK, it's a
So
it's a
remember
catch
we
more
talked
often than
about
not.
this. So yesterday I had told you I was like Aaron Rodgers kind of has kind of played like shit, and you're like, well, he's coming off the Achilles, he's old, yada yada. And I was like, well, what's funny is I don't feel like that's why he plays like shit. I feel like I consistently watch him and he consistently makes shit reads.
But I also think partially when we think back to Aaron Rodgers, MVP seasons in Green Bay, he was most efficient when he was like outside of the pocket, and he doesn't have the capability to be outside of the pocket.
True,
anymore
but
in
in his
Green Bay.
most best seasons in Green Bay, he was throwing 36 touchdowns and 4 picks, consistently making
I'm
good
saying-
reads still.
Yeah, but it's easier to make good reads outside of the pocket because then it's almost a broken play like every play if you really think about it. But
True.
also on top of that, let's not forget that their offensive coordinator is Arthur Smith. Let's give Aaron Rodgers like this much slack. And you know me, I'm not a fan of Rodgers. I think he's taken a huge leap back. But when Arthur Smith is
Especially
your play caller,
legacy wise, bro. Like,
yeah. But when Arthur Smith's your play caller, I'm always gonna have an excuse for you. 'Cause
and then
fuck
Lions
Arthur Smith.
Ravens, we both sucked our bets, but
You picked Lions, I thought.
no, but you got it wrong. My bet
Oh,
sucked,
okay.
but
Yeah. I actually hit a separate bet. So
no,
that was
lay
pretty
down.
fire.
Go lay down.
But dude, the Lions are so back. Week 1 against the Packers was a fluke.
The
They're
Ravens
so
are
back.
1-2.
They're so back. I'm not worried about. I think the Ravens started off 0-2 last year, so I'm not really
Yeah,
too
true.
concerned. The Ravens, they're gonna make it to the playoffs. Derrick Henry, 2 crucial fumbles and this. But
When
also,
you're that fucking big though, dude, like come on.
but I also don't want to act like it's like Derrick Henry has a fumble problem. Like that was a really good play Aiden Hutchinson made. Like
True.
that was a crazy.
Also, like
play.
when you're that good, is it that bad to have a fumble problem?
Yeah,
It's kind of
I
like
mean, when the fumble like almost
it's kind of
cost
like the
the
Brett
game.
Favre thing. Like, do you put up with the interception problem a little bit?
Well,
That
I'm
Brett
not
Favre.
comparing Derrick Henry's 2 fumbles in 3 games to Brett Favre leading the league or leading NFL history in interceptions. Like
I think he's had a fumble
I
every. He's had a fumble every game though.
I don't think Derrick Henry has a fumbling problem. I don't even know if he fumbled against the Browns. He played like shit against the Browns, so he probably did. But against the Bills and against the Lions, they were just fantastic plays, honestly, in my opinion. But
All right, perfect. Do you want to do our top 10 or do you
what
want to
about
go
your
to your
game? We
team?
didn't talk about the games you got wrong.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we did. Bengals, Vikings, Raiders, Commanders.
You don't want to talk about the games we both got right? Just so we can talk about every game?
We don't normally. I don't think we normally do that.
Oh, well, whatever you want. What are we doing next?
Game picks or top 10.
We'll do top 10.
All right, bet. That's so funny. We never do go over every game.
Yeah, but are we missing any like really good games that we could talk about? Because 49ers, Cardinals, that game was ass. Chief Giants, that game was ass.
Hey, da!
Oh, you forgot about one of the games I got wrong. I decided to pick the Saints over the Seahawks, and then they
I
proceeded to get
skipped that when I was talking about
they
it.
proceeded to get blown out. You want to know the most frustrating part about this game is I had a bet, and the last leg I needed was JSN to get 100 receiving yards, and he got 96, and then he didn't play in the fourth quarter because of how bad the Saints were losing. So that was awesome. But yeah, other than that, the rest of these games were pretty mid. Honestly, I could care less to talk about them.
All right, perfect. Well, I'll get into my top 10 power rankings. At number 10, I got the Packers. I think, their week 1 winner of the Lions kind of overplays the week loss to the Browns. I think the Browns are a good defense. I think the Packers would be fine. At number 9, I got the Commanders. I think coming in with Mariota playing like that, and dude, Dan Quinn, that hit Dan Quinn took.
I know that
And he was
nuts.
like so sad. I was like, it's Dan Quinn. He's fine.
Yeah, that honestly, it's kind of funny, but like, dude, I know that shit hurts because he also like hit his head hikey. Like
No,
like,
he hit the back of his head.
Yeah.
That's what I was worried. But he played that
he
shit
ate
off.
that shit.
Yeah, he ate that shit. At number 8, I got the Rams. Same thing. They should have beat the Eagles. I think more out of times than not, they probably beat the Eagles there. At number 7, I got the 49ers. Might be a little low at 3-0. Brock Purdy doesn't need to come back, but I think Brock Purdy, for them to keep,
I actually left the 49ers off my list.
on the train. Wow. At number 6, I got the Lions. They're the best one-loss team, I'd have to say. At number 5, I got the Chargers. Probably a little low for some people, but these other 4 teams are really good. Number 4, I got the Eagles, which is probably low for some people, but they're going to take a loss this week, so
Okay.
it's going to age really well. Number 3, I got the Colts. Man, they are playing great. Number 2, I got my Buccaneers. We're going to win this week. Who knows how the Bills play. If we beat the Eagles, I might have us number 1 next week. But number 1, I got the Bills. They're just playing freaking lights out every game.
All right. So number 10, I actually have Minnesota. Just seeing how good that defense played, and with some of our players coming back, I think we're going to continue to ball out. I think
Y'all
we
are
can
2-1,
win next
right?
week. Yeah, we're 2-1. Maybe the 49ers deserve to be above
How'd y'all
us.
lose to the Falcons, bro?
Dude, JJ McCarthy
That
just
makes me
was
so mad.
JJ McCarthy was so
The
ass.
Falcons should be 0-3.
I know, but JJ McCarthy was ass. Okay, but I left the 49ers off just because I'm really not impressed by literally any of their wins. They haven't really played against very good teams so far, so I'm not impressed, if I'm being honest. Number 9, I have the Ravens. They're 1-2, but again, I'm not really concerned. Their 2 losses are to some very good teams, and I think they're going to be fine, and they're going to be contending in the playoffs once again. Number 8, I have the Rams. They've been balling out this year, and they realistically maybe should have, you could say, won that game against the Eagles. They had 2 blocked kicks that game, I believe, including the one that was returned for the touchdown at the end of the game. Number 7, I have the Colts. Probably could be a little higher at 3-0, but I mean, against the Broncos, they really should have lost.
You're not letting a recency bias play.
Yeah, and then they also just beat the Titans, which doesn't really,
And they should have lost to the Broncos.
Again, the Colts are playing fantastic. I'm not taking anything away from them, but it didn't raise how I feel about them by beating the Titans, in my opinion. Because number 6, I have the Commanders, because this win did increase the way I feel about the Commanders. Because when you can come out and ball like that with your backup quarterback, that just goes to show how great of a coaching staff you have and how great of a roster you have. And that was a great win they had against the Raiders. Number 5, I have the Packers. Rough loss to the Browns, but I honestly haven't lost any hopes for this team. This defense is playing great. They need to get it rolling on offense. I think the Browns have a great run defense, and when you take away Josh Jacobs, there's not many weapons with the Packers to work with outside of him. Number 4, I have the Buccaneers.
Dude, that's high, because the Bucs, you've kind of been critical on the Bucs win so far.
They're 3-0. They're 3-0, and they haven't been playing fantastic in these games.
Or playing good.
But they're playing good enough to get it done. And I know you could say the same thing about the 49ers, but the 49ers are genuinely playing shit and getting the dumbest wins ever. That Cardinals game, bro, there was 3 drops that would have sealed the game. Trey Benson dropped a ball. Did you see the Marvin Harrison drop?
I didn't see the Marvin Harrison. I saw the Trey Benson.
I cannot believe you didn't see the Marvin Harrison drop. It might have been one of the worst drops I've ever seen.
There's a Mike Levin.
There's nobody in his vicinity, and he threw it 40 yards down the field, and it hits him in the hands and bounces off his chest.
Tyler's been playing good football.
Yeah, the Cardinals are one of the most boring teams to watch ever.
Yeah,
I can't watch their games. Number 3, I have the Chargers. Dude, when you can come out and in 3 weeks in a row play 3 division opponents and beat every single one of them, you know how insane that is?
No, that's awesome.
When it comes down to the end of the season and we're talking about wild
critical.
card teams and division winners, that is an insane start to get off to. And not only that, winning against division teams is hard. These are the teams that know you the best. They know what you want to do, and you're 3-0 against your division so far. It's fantastic. Number 2, I have the Bills. I just realized I left the Chiefs off my list, but oh well.
The Chiefs are off my list, too. They're 1-2.
Yeah, and also, I actually had them on the list, and I erased it now that I think about it because they just didn't play very good against the Giants.
They didn't.
Sorry, number 2, I have the Bills. I would have liked to see them win a little more convincingly against the Dolphins, because if Zach Sealer doesn't get a roughing the punter and if Tua doesn't throw it directly to your defense at the end of the game, we could be talking about a different outcome. The Dolphins kept it pretty close throughout most of the game, but they've played great this year. Josh Allen's MVP level this season. But number 1, I have the Eagles. I said I wanted to see them step up their offense, and in the second half, Jalen Hurts came out and balled out. A.J. Brown was involved, and I was really excited to see the Eagles do what they are capable of and start throwing the ball. So, Eagles are back at 1 for me.
Fuck yeah. All right, we can go ahead and get into our predictions for the week. I think this is probably going to be I think a lot of these are probably some pretty close games. So
yeah, this is a very interesting week.
Very interesting week. All right, so our Thursday game, Seahawks, Cardinals. Who do you got?
I do have the Seahawks. Like I
Same.
said, the Cardinals are playing boring football. The Seahawks are coming off a great win.
That's Sophie with her fucking bowl, dude.
I think this is probably going to be a pretty low-scoring game, but Jason's going to go off. Cardinals lost James Conner, unfortunately. That was pretty sad.
So sad,
but
yeah.
Cardinals just aren't playing great. Kyler's playing pretty good, but I just hate the Cardinals, bro. I can't stand them. I'm never picking the Cardinals again.
Yeah. Babe, can you bring me a shot? No, honestly, the Seahawks played so fucking good last week, dude. Sam Darnold really stepped up, and he looks comfortable now in that
really
offense.
Good throws in that game.
He looks more comfortable too in that offense.
Yeah.
You'd say, yeah, too. So let's get into Sunday morning, 8 o'clock. How excited are you to wake up early?
Every year we have one of these games. Last year we had one. We were in Houston, I believe. We were somewhere. We were at an NFL game, and I had an alarm on my phone, and I didn't wake up to it.
Oh, yeah.
And Grant turned off my phone instead of waking me up, and I missed the first half of the game against the Jets last year. So fuck you, Grant, if you're watching. But I have the Vikings here against the Steelers. I think the Steelers have been struggling to stop the run, and Jordan Mason's going to go for 150 rushing yards this game.
I got the Vikings, too. What I really think is going to be the factor is I think Brian Flores is going to significantly make Aaron Rodgers make bad decisions. I think Aaron Rodgers has made dumbass decisions. And
Aaron Rodgers throws at least one pick this game.
Exactly. He's going to throw maybe 2 this game. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to look like shit
Arthur
this
Smith
game.
versus Brian Flores, or are we really going to act like this is a competition?
Exactly. So let's go ahead and get into the noon slated games. Commanders-Falcons is the first one I have written down.
Yeah, give me the Commanders easily. If you're coming off a 30-0 loss to the Panthers, I don't care what team you're playing. I'm not picking you. I would really like
even if Mariota's in.
I would really like to see the Falcons bounce back and play some good football, but I just can't. Like, I can't.
Is Daniels back yet, or is it still just?
It doesn't even matter. I think he's supposed to be back, but even if he's not, I don't care. Like,
I'm the same. I got the Commanders as well. This is probably the craziest game. I'm just gonna say it. I got the Giants beating the Chargers this week. The only reason I think it is, I think the Chargers have started off 3-0 with division wins, and I think they're due for like a little loss. I think the fact that Jackson Dart's at home, I got the Giants beating the Chargers this week.
But Herbert just balled out against the Broncos, bro. I think there's no shot they lose. I have the Chargers winning.
This is like my one dumbass game. This is like you have to pick a fucking.
I'm excited to see Jackson Dart. I told you Russ wouldn't make it past week 5.
So when I looked at that game and I saw Jackson Dart was starting, I was like, if the Giants are home, I'm taking the Giants. And they were home, so I took them.
I think there's no shot. With the way that Herbert played against that Broncos defense,
he's gonna dot up the Giants.
Especially in the fourth quarter, I think there's no shot they don't win this game.
But Cam Scatteroo?
He played all right. He was like their leading rusher and receiver last game, but it was just
I love Cam
there was
Scatteroo.
nobody because they weren't throwing Malik the ball. Wan'Dale Robinson wasn't doing much. Russ's ass. Like,
do you think with Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors' productivity goes up or down compared to Russ?
I think
obviously ignore last game, but let's just say objectively.
I think this first game is a good matchup because the Chargers don't have like the craziest secondary.
Yeah.
They do have a very good defense, but that's gonna just create Jackson Dart to kind of like force the ball to Malik Neighbors, in my opinion. So I think Malik Neighbors' stock goes up a little bit more. I don't think he's gonna have a game like he did against Dallas where he went for 200 yards, but I think he probably sees like 10 targets this game.
All right, Titans Texans. Who do you got?
Bro, the Texans got to get their first win. I have to pick the Texans. I really wouldn't be shocked if the Titans win it, but the Texans got to get their first win.
So remember, we can be honest here. We'll be honest. I put the Titans, but the reason I did, because I had the same mindset you did, the Titans are due for a fucking win.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, I didn't know the Texans were undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Can I switch? Because
yeah, you can switch.
Because I honestly,
they're not set in stone
the
yet.
Texans, bro. Them going, I didn't realize if they were, there's no way they go.
I think realistically, if you change your game before the game starts, I could care less. You know, by the way, I was genuinely gonna text you and switch to the Cardinals, and then I was like, the only reason I didn't.
You know, I was gonna text you, and I was gonna say, if you want to switch, you can, because I was so confident. But I was like, oh nah, I deleted it.
The only reason I didn't ask to switch is literally just because I didn't want to be like cause an inconvenience, and thank God because.
No, if you would have texted me, I would have, because I literally, Maddox, I typed it out. I swear I typed it out, and I go.
No, I'm glad I didn't switch. I would have been 7-9.
All right, Maddox. Let's see if we are going to fist fight. Eagles, Buccaneers. Who do you got?
I do have the Buccaneers. Y'all have had the Eagles numbers over the last few years. I think y'all have been pretty decent stopping the run this year, so y'all are going to force Jalen Hurts to throw the ball a little bit.
Jalen Hurts,
and I think he plays a good game. But
we make Jalen Hurts look like shit, so hopefully that can happen again.
I don't think y'all make him look like shit, but I think Baker's going to have a really good game.
Not in the playoff game, but last year he played like shit against us.
I think Baker has a good game.
Mike Evans being out sucks. Chris Godwin's back. Tristan Wirfs is back. We don't have Luke Yoki. I wonder if what are we gonna do with Graham Barring? Is Graham Barring gonna play right tackle now, or is Tristan Wirfs gonna play right tackle, or is Graham Barring gonna go back to center and Ben Bredesen to left guard? Cody Mouch is out, our starting right guard. I have no fucking clue. You know, Cody Mouch, dude, had a season-ending injury and finished the game.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's nuts.
Dog.
That is a dog.
He's the
is
same
he the guy with like the missing tooth?
Yeah, he's the same guy with the missing tooth. Yeah. All right.
I swore we saw his parents at one of the games. Because we saw 2 old people wearing Cody Mouch jerseys. Like,
that's so
and I swear we saw Mike Glennon's parents too, because it was 2 old people wearing Mike Glennon jerseys. Like,
oh yeah, I did write this down. The last time we played the Bucks, it was 16-13 and 32-9. I mean,
no, y'all dominated them last season. Yeah. Y'all were like the only team to make the Eagles look real last year. Maybe the Eagles want a little bit of get back. I don't know. I think y'all have had the Eagles number the last couple of years. I really wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles won, but I think y'all are finally gonna be playing the football that y'all should be playing. Yeah, it's not prime time. Shout out.
We finally won our fucking first primetime game against Houston. I forgot to talk about that. Thank goodness. Baker's like 0-7 in his last 7 primetime games or something. We needed that win. Panthers, Patriots. Who do you got?
I'm picking the Patriots again, bro. And it makes me so upset because they keep letting me down. There's no way they fumble 5 times again, and there's no way the Panthers get back-to-back wins. So
that is exactly what I thought. And I was like, if I pick the Panthers, they're gonna lose. So I'm just gonna go with the Patriots and see what happens. So I went the Patriots. Bills, Saints. Bills by 40.
Yeah, that's the lock of the week.
That is the lock of the week.
Take it. Just hammer Bills money line. Put your house on it.
So you think you'd be confident putting $1,000 out of your savings on Bills money line?
See, yeah, but also last week I probably would have put $1,000 on the Falcons to win. I probably would have put $1,000 on the Packers to win. Like any
True.
given Sunday's really just living up to
Facts.
it.
Browns,
name.
Lions. I assume we both got the Lions.
Yeah,
You never
there's
know.
no way the Browns do what they just did twice.
They might give them a good game, but
I mean, yeah, but also
it's the Lions.
the Lions offense is like the one offense in the league that I feel like no matter how good your defense is, they are just they're gonna run it up. Like,
that one play they had, Maddox, where they pitched it or they handed off
That
and
was so
pitched
sick.
it to Jib.
Ben
Jibs.
Johnson, who?
I know, literally. Who's their OC now? Do you even know? Did
I
they
think
hire
it was like one of Ben
their
Johnson's
passing
guys.
games coordinator? Yeah,
it
yeah.
it was one of Ben Johnson's.
All right,
guys
we're
from
getting
last
into
year.
the noon games. This one's interesting because you're kind of a Jaguars and 49ers hater. Out of Jaguars, 49ers, who do you got?
I do have the 49ers. The Jags are 2-1. There's no shot they go to 3-1. And it's really pissing me off, dude, because I've said this every week so far. The 49ers are just not playing good football. Their roster isn't very good right now because of injuries, and they're just getting handed wins by the competition they're playing, and it's really upsetting me. But yeah,
The 49ers are going to win again?
49ers they're going to be 4-0.
I got the Jaguars. First, when I was doing it, I wanted to pick Mac Jones' revenge game. My voice cracked, sorry.
Shout out.
But I think the Jaguars are figuring it out. It does kind of suck. I think, like, Trevor Lawrence is kind of showing that, like,
I just don't think he's what we thought he was
I
going to be.
know, it sucks. It
It does
sucks.
suck.
It really sucks. But, like, because you can show, like, Liam Cohen, like, was kind of struggling with the Jags right now as quarterback play. I want Trevor Lawrence to step it up. Don't get me wrong.
I do, too. I want nothing else more, or I want a lot of things more than that, but I would love to see that.
Game of the week. Colts, Rams. Who do you got?
I am going to take the Rams.
Okay.
I think the Colts' insanity run ends here, and the Rams are going to be pissed off. They want to get back their win that they should have had, quote-unquote, should have had last week. I think the Rams win this one. The Colts haven't played the craziest competition the last few weeks. You know, they played the Broncos, but I honestly don't think the Broncos are as good as everybody said they were. I said that on the first episode of the year, and like we said earlier, they probably should have lost that game too. But the Rams are such a good roster. I think there's no way that they lose to the Colts. The Colts, it has to end somewhere. They're not going to be 4-0.
Give me Indiana Jones, baby. Give me the
Honestly, it
Colts.
would be really sick.
I'm really excited to watch
If they
the
win
game.
this game, they're top 5 in the power rankings automatically.
So this game's like the tell. This is the tell.
This is the because even if they lose, if he plays good football, like I'm fully.
You know,
bought in.
part of his contract, he gets $100,000.
Hey, he's already made 3 bands or 300 bands.
300
this year.
bands every game. That's sick.
Well, let's not act like he doesn't already have like $100 million to his name from that. deal
Yeah, that
in
one
New
contract.
York.
All right, Bears, Raiders. Who do you got?
I'm taking the Raiders. The Raiders are due for a win, in my opinion, and I just think there's no way the Bears do that 2 weeks in a row. I think the Cowboys offense or the Cowboys defense at this point,
Worse than the Raiders defense?
I just think they made Russ look like God.
True.
They made Caleb Williams look like God. Week 1, they played the Eagles. The Eagles were slow, but I don't know. I don't think the Bears will do what they did last week. I just think there's no way. And, dude, the Raiders have to have a good game eventually. Like, the Bears pass rush isn't good enough that I think the Raiders offensive line has been playing so bad. But the Bears don't have that good of a D-line, so I think the Raiders will be able to, like, manage and get something going here.
Fuck Geno. I'm writing him off. Give me the Bears. Not actually. I love Geno. I'm a big Geno guy. But, man, I picked the Raiders last week against a hurt fucking Commanders team.
Yeah.
And they got whopped, dude. And the Bears played great. Like,
oh, my God.
when the Bears played so good last week and the Raiders played so shit, like, if they...
I don't know. This is my weird game of the week.
Dude, we have...
Honestly, the main
We
reason
already
I
have
picked
4
the
different.
Raiders is because I didn't really know who was going to win, and the Raiders are the home team. So
I
it's
guarantee
just-
we'll have this game different, too. Ravens, Chiefs, both 1-2. Starting off 1-3 would be a big deal for both of these teams. Who do you got?
I actually have the Chiefs, if I'm being honest.
I got the Chiefs,
The
too.
Ravens are the better regular season team, but
Mahomes is not going 1-3.
the Chiefs' defense has been playing very good.
I didn't finish my shot. What a little pussy.
Pacheco got going a little bit last game, but they still haven't been running the ball good. I'm kind of talking myself into changing to the Ravens, but this was similar to last game. This is like a coin toss for me, and it's at Arrowhead. That was a deciding factor for me, is that it's at the Chiefs Stadium. So I don't know. The Ravens might win this game, but I'm sticking with the Chiefs.
Yeah, dude. Starting off 1-3 is rough, too. But luckily, the AFC North's not playing that well right now.
Yeah, the Ravens have the Chiefs need this win way more. There's a 3-0 team currently in the Chiefs division.
agree.
They need this win.
Packers, Cowboys. Who do you got?
I got the Packers, and I am making a parlay with a Micah Parsons sack in it because there's just no shot it doesn't happen.
I got the Cowboys winning. I just feel like, dude, it's going to be like this whole Micah Parsons
I could
revenge
definitely
game.
see it.
You know what I'm saying? It's the
Where
fucking...
it's like, did the Cowboys win the trade? You know, they won the game.
Exactly.
And then I'm going to have to listen to my
Cowboys
boss
fans.
talk to me at work all
Exactly.
day about it.
No, exactly.
Oh, I hope even more now that the Packers win because I can't listen to that. I can't do it.
No, I think And the Cowboys play great at home consistently. The Packers play like shit last week. The Cowboys played like shit as well, but I think the
Packers need a bounce back game, and they're gonna take full advantage of how shit this Cowboys defense is, and they're gonna run.
And Micah Parsons is gonna try to kill Dak.
Yeah, but I don't think it's more of like, hey, fuck you, Dak. It's like he wants to. He's imagining Dak as Jerry Jones.
Yeah, it's fuck you, Jerry, but who's taking the pain out of it?
Exactly. No,
Dak's I'm not Jerry.
He's shooting the messenger, you know.
No, it's like in Waterboy when he like imagines the other guy. He's like, what'd you just say? He's like, no. He's all scared. All right, Jets, Dolphins.
I have the Dolphins this week.
I got the Dolphins as well.
They're due.
They're due. Bagels, Broncos.
Yeah, another Jake Brown.
So what's crazy is, Max, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have a chance for your comeback this week.
It's gonna happen. I'm gonna be tied after this week. I can feel it.
Dang. That's what I feel like we'd have a decent amount of games differently this week.
So before the season, we both had the Texans winning the AFC South. How are we feeling about the AFC South right now?
Here's the thing. That's what I was kind of thinking about. I was like, Daniel Jones, but also like Daniel Jones got his bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then sucked ass after. Like, he proved himself, then sucked ass. So I really hope that's not another situation. Like, there's a chance Daniel Jones plays 3 good games of football and then sucks after.
I think it's just a New York thing. Like, Xavier McKinney left New York, led the league in interceptions. Saquon Barkley left New York, won a Super Bowl.
Well, Saquon was never the bad in New York.
But he didn't put up 2,000 rushing yards like he did in Philly. And Daniel Jones is like top 3 in passing yards right now. Like, I think New York just doesn't have a good culture. I wasn't a big fan of Shane Steichen, if I'm being honest. I think one thing I've learned a lot is that Anthony Richardson might just be like terrible, because Daniel Jones is making this offense look so easy. Like, their protection's good. Jonathan Taylor's balling out. The receivers are playing good. I think we're learning that Anthony Richardson is just not the guy. But I think the Colts kind of have a free division here this year, because Texans' offensive line is playing bad. C.J. Stroud's struggling. The Jags look really bad. The fact that their defense is what's winning them games, and they have a not good defense, is stressing me out. And then the Titans are 0-3 with a rookie quarterback and arguably the worst roster in the league. I think we're going to see the Colts hosting a playoff game this year, in my opinion.
Would you say 0-3 is the worst roster in the league?
Worst what?
Was 0-3 the worst roster in the league?
Oh, the Titans.
Titans, okay. Yeah, probably. So this is interesting. So you know me, I'm very I hate that the NFL doesn't want to develop quarterbacks anymore. So there's 2 questions. 1, you see this Anthony Richardson situation where the Colts tried to develop a young guy, showed signs of promise, and it was more of an attitude situation maybe, the tap out shit. Yeah. You look at that Daniel Jones. Would Daniel Jones ever tap out of a play? Fuck no.
He has grit.
And the offensive linemen, did you see after the win with the Broncos win, they all came up and celebrated with Daniel Jones? Oh no, it was Quentin Nelson and Tyler Warren. Yeah. That fucking tells you the kind of guy he is. The offensive linemen, when they love your quarterback, that tells you the kind of guy he is. He's a Baker Mayfield. He's gonna go drink beers with the boys. Yep. I like that. But with this wave of quarterbacks who are not given a chance, who have shown signs of promise, who are older, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, now Daniel Jones as well, are we going to see more of teams even trying to develop quarterbacks?
I think it's not even – I don't even think the developmental
They don't want to. What team has developed a mid-quarterback?
But I don't think the problem is that they're not developing quarterbacks. I think some quarterbacks just need a change of scenery. I think even if the Giants kept Daniel Jones for 3 more years, we would have kept getting dog shit football.
But he's past the chance of being developed. Like, he's too old to be developed.
Okay, I think if Baker stayed in Carolina, he wouldn't have started playing good randomly. I think if Justin Fields kept playing in Chicago with how we saw last year, Justin Fields would have continued to play bad football.
So you think it's just programs?
I think just certain programs, and honestly, not even just shitting on certain programs. Some players just need that change of scenery. They need a different head coach. Certain things mesh better together. I don't know. And honestly, Anthony Richardson, I think they tried to develop him, bro. He sat out most of his rookie year.
What if the Bengals sent a 5th for AR?
That would be stupid.
Do you think the Colts would say no?
No, not necessarily. Maybe, but I don't think that would be.
What do you think the Colts would?
I'd rather have Jake Browning as my starting quarterback than Anthony Richardson.
Really? You don't think the run game adds a way different effect? But the Bengals aren't going to switch up their whole offense.
Yeah, they have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. You need somebody who's going to throw the ball. I think they need Kirk Cousins or Jameis.
Yeah, get Jameis, bro.
That would be some of the best football ever to watch.
Jamar Chase is breaking the receiving yard record. No question.
One thing I want to say about Anthony Richardson, something that one team did that we've never really seen any other team try that worked was when Sean Payton turned Taysom Hill into this Swiss Army knife guru, played everyone.
Terrell Pryor, don't forget about Terrell Pryor as an example too. A better example.
I honestly, I have no idea who that even is. I didn't watch football.
Okay.
But,
Sure.
sorry, it's just in recent time, we haven't really seen anybody do that. Somebody like Anthony Richardson might just be the perfect guy for that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. The difference is Anthony Richardson was a 4th overall pick. Taysom Hill was an undrafted rookie, right?
But there are also a lot of quarterbacks, or not even just quarterback, like a lot of players that are insane athletes that don't really pan out, that I feel like some more teams got to try.
Terrell Pryor was drafted as a quarterback and ended up they moved him to receiver, and then he signed with like the Jets or something.
Okay.
And ended up being like a stud receiver for the Jets for a few years.
My ball knowledge when it comes to like before I started watching is pretty piss poor, if I'm being honest.
You know me, I'm monk status.
But dude, I would really like, not even just Anthony Richardson. That was just because we were talking about him. But like, I want to see more teams do that. Like, because clearly there's some guys that are just athletes. Like,
I think sadly, it's not a team's trying to do it.
A lot of players don't want to do that.
Players are just assholes, you know.
Yeah. I do want to see AR like kind of maybe go somewhere else and like maybe Pittsburgh.
Could you imagine if a team tried to make Lamar a fucking receiver and like Lamar was just a mid receiver right now? Could you imagine how sad that would be?
The reason that wouldn't make sense is because Lamar's played great quarterback ever since he's came in. Like,
I know, but there was imagine like a team was like, hey Lamar, we'll draft you 8th overall if you move to receiver.
Yeah,
which was probably a conversation, right?
No, I mean that's why he didn't. That's why he didn't run a 40 at the combine.
Imagine he did though, and we missed out on all these years of Lamar. There's a reality.
I'm not saying that teams should draft players and change their position before they see the field. I'm saying
no, of course, I'm not saying that. Yeah,
when you try with somebody like AR and he's clearly not working at quarterback, so but he is one of the best athletes.
Do you think they should mix in some packages maybe with AR running the ball?
See, maybe on like 4th and 1.
Or I kind of be like, fuck you, AR, sit on the bench and learn. Like,
my only problem
you know
with like the run packages with like these running quarterbacks is the other team just kind of knows what you're going to do. Like, you may hand it to the running back and you may keep it, but that's a 50-50 option rather than, you know, you could. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. Like, it worked a little bit last year when Justin Fields did it in Pittsburgh.
Unless if it's Taysom Hill. If you do a Taysom Hill quarterback draw, he's getting 7 yards.
Exactly. But Taysom Hill's just a dog. But I'm saying exactly that might.
Why is that the Saints' whole offense? Just quarterback draw, Taysom Hill.
I remember it might have been 2 years ago. There was a game where they played the Browns and Taysom Hill started at running back, and I picked him up in fantasy. He got like 40 fantasy points.
There was a game
like
one time, dude, where Taysom Hill was allowed to be tight end like one time ever, and I picked him up. He had like 40 points. It was so sick.
So sick. Anything else you want to talk about?
Anything else on the week? Did we miss any like games last week?
Broncos Chargers was a pretty good game. I do kind of want to talk about the Broncos a little bit, actually. I don't think Bo Nix is that good. Like, I'm not writing him off. You know, he's very young.
Sophomore slumps happen. That's what I tell you. Sophomore slumps are consistent.
Last year at the beginning of the season, he struggled, and like he played pretty good in the second half of the season, but he didn't play like fantastic in my opinion. I think his life was made very easy by the play calling, which is not to take away from him. He doesn't call the plays, but I think the reason we don't get to see the Broncos offense open up more is because I think Sean Payton knows Bo Nix's limitations, so he knows he can't open the offense more. Like, Sean Payton knows his quarterbacks. He was the coach for Drew Brees. Drew Brees had a great career. I think Bo Nix could have a great career, but Bo Nix overthrew like 4 deep balls this game. Like he was consistently overthrowing players. Like, I think the Broncos offense has been limited because of Bo Nix's capabilities, in my opinion.
Have you noticed too? I've never seen a quarterback roll out to the right like minus 10 yards, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he throws it a dime more than Bo Nix, though. Not even necessarily a dime. I'm not complimenting on that. But have you noticed how often he like rolls out to the right and like moves way back? That's a real thing that like teams should take advantage of with the Broncos. I consistently notice that with Bo Nix.
And before this
watch
season,
that. Next time you watch a Broncos game, watch how often he rolls out.
I don't know how much like TV or football podcasts you listen to, but before the season, I saw like hundreds of people saying the Broncos were going to win this division. You know, they were going to be. I saw so many people saying the Broncos were like they were. I was listening to people saying Broncos were going to be Super Bowl contenders this year after their free agency. Talanoa Hufanga has been balling out. Outside of that, none of their free agents have played this year. Dre Greenlaw hasn't played. Evan Ingram played, but he's hurt now.
Jake Adama's been playing good.
Yeah, Jake, but they don't give him the ball enough. He had a drive last game where he literally touched the ball every play, got every single yard, and got a touchdown, and then the rest of the game had 11 carries. What are we doing?
No, and like how frustrating is it too, where like you see guys who like go down the field the whole time and they give somebody else the touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they're on your fantasy team.
But yeah, J.K. Dobbins should have had way more carries this game. R.J. Harvey's just not getting used. I don't know. I don't think the Broncos are very good, if I'm being honest. I think they could even potentially miss the playoffs this year.
They're 1-2.
I told you that they were my Texans of this year, and they're kind of starting to prove me right.
And the Texans are being the Texans of the Texans.
Yeah.
So what's funny is, do you think there's any universe where Texans fans start to get hesitant with C.J. Stroud?
Yeah, but that's just because
Because
football fans are.
we just compared to the Baker.
Yeah, that's just because football fans get ahead of
But
themselves.
to the Texans fans, listen, football fans got ahead of themselves with Baker Mayfield, and then Deshaun Watson's available, right? So let's just. What's a guy? Kyler Murray next season gets available.
Kyler Murray is not as good as Deshaun Watson was whenever he went to the Browns. Deshaun Watson was coming off of like playoff
What's a good
success.
example where a guy could become available as good?
Deshaun Watson was like top 5 in the league.
So there's not even an example where a guy.
I mean, Justin Herbert maybe.
Yeah, but why would he?
But
leave
I
the
would
Chargers?
give up C.J. Stroud for Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
But also, it's hard to compare because no quarterback in the league right now has 27 sexual assault allegations too, and is gonna miss a whole entire year once. And he missed his whole entire last year with the Texans too. He didn't play football for a year, so there's literally no comparison. The Browns are just brain dead.
Isn't that? It's so insane. Like when
Yeah.
you get into depth of how dumb it was. Like literally, and like every week I see Browns fans tweet like, because you know me, when I watch
Yeah.
a Bucks game, after like Jamel Dean gets a pick 6, I watch her. Like after I see like Zion McCollum has a shit play, I'll look up Zion McCollum or whatever. And so, consistently, like after Baker does something, I look up Baker Mayfield, or like after he has a bad pass, etc. And it'll be Browns fans all the time are like, when Baker Mayfield just made a better throw than a Browns quarterback has made since he's been here, and it's just like a meme. And it's
But
so
to answer your question, no. Or the Texans like franchise itself, I don't think is gonna be worried about, or they might be worried, but they're not gonna give up on CJ anytime soon. The fans, yes, the football fans are stupid.
Yeah.
Like it's like how we said Carson Wentz is gonna come out and play good. I honestly haven't seen any of it, but how we said everybody's gonna be telling us that Carson Wentz should be the starter and JJ McCarthy is bad. Like teams just do that; they overreact. CJ Stroud has not been playing good football, but his offensive line is really bad. Like I'm honestly kind of done giving him the offensive line excuse
he's in his
because
third year, right?
Yeah, he has one more year on his rookie deal before the 5th year option.
So if he sucks next year, they probably don't pick up his 5th year, and maybe they.
Well, quarterbacks don't really get their 5th years picked up anymore. They kind of just get extended.
He hasn't even gotten extended yet.
Yeah, but that's not uncommon. This is only his 3rd season. That's not uncommon.
Brock Purdy's 1 year younger, and Brock Purdy. So like,
but Brock Purdy didn't have a 5th year option. He was drafted in the 7th round.
So realistically, C.J. Stroud should get extended after this year.
Yeah.
Typically, that's what Jordan Love did right before.
Yeah, Jordan Love might have been after his 4th year.
But Jordan Love was a sitting, so that was.
Yeah, but Jordan Love after his 1st year as a starter was extended.
Yeah.
But I think CJ Stroud.
He was extended like the highest paid ever too.
I mean, his 1st year as a starter won a playoff game. I'm a Jordan Love guy, bro. It sucks how much.
Jordan Love.
It sucks how much I love Jordan Love, bro, because like
Dude,
I fucking hate the Packers.
like so sweaty.
Like whenever I watch Packers games, like I catch myself subconsciously like rooting.
Let's
for
just bail out on the boys trip and let's go to a home Packers Vikings.
I'm gonna do it anyways. We could just do both. Like, but I don't know why I subconsciously love the Packers so much. Like I really shouldn't, but I catch myself rooting for them in my head.
All right, give me your. Oh, let's finish off on yay and nay. Yay, Buccaneers win. Nay, our team let a block kick happen that almost made us loss.
Yay, Vikings 48-10 win. Isaiah Rodgers, arguably the best defensive game ever. Nay, I missed 4 parlays by 1 pick this week. Actually, let's get a little bit more into that before we wrap it up because this will be quick. I had 2 separate bets that were 1 leg off, and one of them I needed Dak to throw 1 more passing touchdown, and the other one I had a Javonte Williams touchdown. Dak throws it to Javonte Williams, and he gets tackled on the 1-yard line. So if he would have done that, that's 2 bets that hit. One of them, the leg that missed, was the Texans winning the game. Nico Collins fumbles, and C.J. Stroud throws a pick to lose the game. And then the last one was what I told you earlier, JSN missing by 4 yards because he got benched in the 4th quarter. So I got fucked in all 4 of the ones that I missed. But I got my money back during the Ravens game, so shout out. That's all I had to say.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Deuces, Skull Vikings, Super Bowl bound.